Hello, my sweet, sweet doll faces, and welcome to another episode of Pretty in the City podcast. Today, I wanted to do a what I eat in a day, from like hyperfixation meals to supplements and all of my psychotic tendencies. So, I would like to start off by saying, I'm not a professional in any capacity. This is just what I do, what works for my body, and what makes me feel best. So a few years ago, I heard Dr. Mona talking about food combining. And while I know it's like controversial or whatever, I'm not like an extremist food combiner. All that I got out of that was I am vegan until dinner time, basically. I like to have some form of like a bowl of fruit, whether it's a smoothie bowl or I cut up a bunch of fruit and I put in like the blue spirulina oat milk I make, but like something that still has like, I feel satisfied and that like I have like enough protein, but also like I don't feel my best whenever I eat a heavy breakfast with like eggs and toast and like all of this stuff, while someone else might thrive in that way. So I always have some form of a bowl of fruit, and then like I just have mostly fruits and vegetables until it's dinner time, where I will introduce some sort of steak or fish. That's basically all I eat. I'm allergic to poultry and I'm allergic to dairy. So I've been a guinea pig for myself over the years and I knew dairy was some sort of problem. I was having acne on my back and my shoulders, and then one time I was sick for 2 weeks and was just like throwing up and not eating anything, and as I was starting to feel better, I noticed my skin was cleared up, so it's something I was eating. So I did some research, and one of the things was like, try taking dairy out. So I took dairy out, and that fixed it. Now, every now and then it doesn't make me physically sick to have trace amounts in certain things, like if I was gonna eat a baked good or something that had like a small amount of butter in it or something. It won't make me sick when I eat it, but the more I eat those trace amounts of dairy, I do break out on my back and my shoulders. But if I ordered like a latte and they accidentally put regular milk instead of like whatever substitute, I would be able to tell pretty quickly the taste is very different, but like if I was like, all right, I'll just drink it, like I wouldn't, because it would make me so sick, and then I would just want to throw up. Versus, and so then I decided to go get food allergy tested, and while I wasn't highly allergic to anything besides chicken and poultry, which I wasn't always, I did take out beef for a year or two in there, and I've reintroduced that and it's been fine, but I still try to stay plant-focused, plant-based, but I'm not vegan, and I only don't have dairy and poultry because of allergies. At the beginning of the year, it's actually really funny, I had the strangest intense craving for cottage cheese, and I was like, that's gonna be a weird one to get like vegan, although I did look around to see if I could find something that was like a vegan cottage cheese, and while I couldn't find a vegan one, I did find a lactose-free one. And so then I was like, okay, sweet, this is gonna be an excellent experiment to run on myself to see if I'm actually like lactose intolerant or if I'm actually allergic to dairy. And I ate some cottage cheese for like every day for like 4 weeks. Oh, so good. But my back and shoulders were not having it. I had big breakouts. I actually had a really decent sized cyst on my armpit. And so I am not lactose intolerant. I'm actually allergic to dairy. So that is fun for me. But like I said, sometimes I still will just like go ahead and have trace amounts and not worry about it, especially if we're eating out. But that's part of the reason I really don't care to eat out too much, because I can't control things like that, and I want to feel my best even when I'm going to eat out, if that makes sense. Anyways, something else that I've just learned a new term for is hyperfixation meal. And that's basically where you just eat the same thing over and over and over again until you're tired of it. And as soon as I told my husband that, he was like, yeah, you hyperfixate on meals all the time. Because he's like, I want to eat something different, like, you know, every night or every few nights. But like, I literally eat like the same thing over and over. Or for different meals, I eat different things like in a rotation. But I'm still eating like the same thing week to week. So I'm gonna just walk you through my day starting first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, I wake up, I tongue scrape and brush my teeth because I don't want any of that bacteria and nastiness on my tongue and like in my teeth to be swallowed into my body. So I do that first, and then I walk into my kitchen where I have a glass of coconut water that I poured the night before because I want it to be room temperature. Otherwise I can't drink it quickly, or like if it's too cold, I'll get brain freeze. Even if it's just like refrigerated, it doesn't feel good on my throat either. So I like it room temperature for no other reason than I prefer that temperature to chug it. I know the hot trendy thing is lemon water. Some people say it's good cold, some people say it's good hot. I think when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, it doesn't matter what temperature. Do whatever the heck you want to do. So I, like a psychotic biatch, pour it the night before so it's room temperature. And even in the winter time, sometimes my kitchen actually gets too cold and it still is like cold in the morning. I digress. Anyways, I do enjoy lemon water in the morning, but I make this elevated cocktail situation that I've concocted with my coconut water. So I'm using the coconut water because it has more electrolytes in it than regular water. So I'm just like hydrating myself first thing. Cameron Diaz in her book mentioned she likes to hydrate first thing in the morning. It's like you're a flower and you're like thirsty and like you're just like reviving yourself. And like, I'm not even joking, you guys, whenever I like chug this, I can like feel my body, like my cells expanding with hydration. So I do squeeze like freshly squeezed lemon with my little pink lemon juicer, and add some lemon juice to that, and I take a scoop, actually I take like a half a scoop of green powder. I currently am still on a jar of the Arbonne Greens Balance, but I think I'm going to try something from Whole Foods next, but I've been using that specific one for years, and I know Athletic Greens is like a really hot greens powder right now, and if you think it's gross, try it in a coconut water lemon concoction and like chug it. Don't sit there and sip on it. It is not gonna like taste great because it's down to a powder because it's dried fruits and vegetables and all of these things, but it's not gonna dissolve because it's not made to do that. So I like stir it all up really quick, take a handful of my vitamins, throw them in my mouth, chug this back, and feel instantly incredible. And I do have 2 separate sets of supplements I take every day, and since we're on the morning portion of my what I eat in a day, I'm going to tell you guys what I take and why. So in my morning pills, I have 2 separate boxes. I have a white box and a black box. I can't remember what brand they're from, but I will make sure to link it. And anyways, so I take propolis in the mornings, it's antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibacterial, antimycotic, antifungal, anti-cancer, and modulatory properties. Sorry, I butchered a lot of that. I also take royal jelly for antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, aids in wound healing and skin repair, anti-aging qualities or graceful aging properties, because we aren't anti-aging here. Vitamin C for vitamin C. I take ashwagandha. It relieves stress and anxiety. Thank God. Let's bathe in ashwagandha. It lowers blood sugar and fat. I don't know how true that is. Increases muscle strength, improves sexual function in women, boosts fertility and testosterone levels in men. Well, I'm gonna be trying to get pregnant here soon. So glad that's helping my fertility. Sharpens focus and memory, supports heart health. Maca root, that increases libido, fertility, boosts energy and endurance, whether you're working out or you're working out. Improves mood, reduces blood pressure. And now this one is a mouthful. I take this because my chiropractor suggested I take it for my joint health. It's glucosamine sulfate, chondroitin, and MSM. It supports healthy joints and taken to reduce pain in those with osteoarthritis and other inflammatory joint problems. I take a probiotic. I change my probiotic every month. I recently have started getting, last year I would get a yeast infection 3 or 4 times in a row as soon as my period ended, and I talked to the doctor, and he suggested a probiotic. He was like, you know, your body, your pH is changing down there, and he suggested taking a probiotic, and I was like, okay, I can take a probiotic as a supplement. I drink kombucha daily, and he was like, that is a fantastic practice. Definitely do the kombucha, but if you're still having these issues and the kombucha isn't enough, take a probiotic. And I know your body and your gut can get used to different strands over time, and variety is the best thing for your gut. So I just switch it up. I actually have like a 90-day supply of the one that I got, and I'm gonna take that until it's time until I empty that bottle, and then I'll get a different one. So for gut health and vagina health, I suppose. And that is what I take in the morning. And now, I don't I don't do intermittent fasting intentionally. First thing in the morning, like I'm awake at like 7:15 on weekdays. I sleep in on the weekends more, but like first thing, literally before I put anything else in my mouth, tongue scrape, brush my teeth, and do my coconut water situation. So that's not fasting at all. Like it's fasting from food, sure, but like technically like my metabolism has started. I am not a morning person, so where I do wake up that early, I'm not even hungry. I just want to sip on coffee for a few hours. And I wish I was joking that I like sip on one coffee for hours, but I do. I have to microwave it so much, which, whatever. But in my coffee, my psychotic supplementation does not stop there. I have an espresso here and at work. I have the vanilla pod, and with my vanilla pod, I have combined in one container this mixture of what I have left of my Arbonne fiber powder, which is like inulin, chicory root, all these different things. I have the vanilla coffee creamer from Vital Proteins and the metabolism boosting powder from Sakara Life. I have a combination of those in my coffee every day, and I mix that up with my hot vanilla Nespresso, like it's like vanilla eclair coffee pod. And my dairy-free creamer as of right now is by Chobani, and it is the caramel macchiato flavor, and I've just been inhaling that shit. So that is what I have for my coffee. Now for my breakfast, which I have around, on the weekdays I have around like 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11, because that's like, then I'm starting to get hungry. I will chop up whatever like seasonal fruit is at my disposal. So right now I love cherries, bananas, cotton candy grapes, or like little gumdrop grapes, cherries, banana, grapes, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries. I cut up a bunch. Variety is more satisfying visually and taste wise, and better for your gut. So I'll do that. I will take old-fashioned oats, just dry, and I sprinkle them on there. And then I, in the blender, will take some oat milk, blue spirulina powder, a scoop of cashew butter, and some maple syrup. Blend that together and pour that over my fruit cereal bowl thing, and I eat that for breakfast. And then lunch is, I will say, one of my most often switched up meals. Right now I am enjoying a salad wrap. One of the things I used to like making was just like a little wrap with some deli meat, but where I can't have, where deli meat, one, isn't even that great for you. I can really only have like a red meat because I'm allergic to poultry. It's taken me a few years and Melissa Woodhealth to make a salad wrap for me to think that, like, it was part of like a mental thing. I was like, I don't want just vegetables on this. But where she called it a salad wrap instead of a veggie wrap, my brain was like, oh yeah, I want a salad wrap. I am one of those people that does like love salad. I'm a salad queen, if you will. I have been just taking these, like, I found just like a high fiber wrap, but like literally as long as it doesn't have milk in it, I'm like, all right, it's good. I've been putting cucumber, romaine, whatever tomatoes. I had some from the farmer's market left over, avocado, some healthy fats, and that's higher in protein. And I've been taking pepperoncini peppers, banana peppers, and a big squirt of mayo. For whatever reason, I like, in a wrap or on a sandwich, I like a light mayo, not for the calorie content, like, who the fuck cares? It just tastes so good, but I put an ungodly amount of mayo on my things. Like, my husband, my Carter, says that my, like, main food groups are sugar, coffee, and mayo, and fruits and vegetables. So, like, I'm very well balanced. So I will have some version of a salad and something fun that's like a higher quality processed food, if that makes sense, because I want to be satisfied and satiated and enjoy all the things. So I'm currently really liking Spudsy. They have yummy, I think it's sweet potato, like veggie straws basically, and they have a vegan ranch flavor, and I love that. I love when people are making like these good snack foods vegan. It doesn't even have to be like overly healthy. Just make it to where us people who are allergic to dairy can eat things. So I've been enjoying the dairy-free vegan ranch veggie straws by Spudsy, and they also have a puffed version that's like cinnamon churro, and I love those too. And then Made Good has a really yummy dairy-free Rice Krispie treats. So I like their originals, but I also like the strawberry one as well. And then I'll have some sort of fruit with my lunch. I'm not having necessarily all 3 of those processed things, but like those are in the rotation. And then I'll have like some watermelon or something. And like around lunchtime for a few hours, I am making a giant thing of liquid IV. I'm currently loving, I love the strawberry flavor. I get the giant bag at Costco every single time they're on sale. And I will make, it's closer to like 32 ounces of water. I know the packaging says like 8 or 16, 8 seems way too small. 16 ounces. It is way too like syrupy and salty for my taste. Whenever, I just prefer it with like a shit ton more of water. And I've got a straw. Oh, and with my morning coffee, I'm also drinking out of a straw too, because teeth whitening, or it keeps your teeth whiter, like because it's not touching your teeth as much. I'm just a straw kind of girl in general, but I just will drink a giant thing. I like to put them in Yetis too, fill up one of the biggest Yetis and pop a liquid IV in there, and then that's that. And then around, like, I'll be coming home, so like this, like a work week. I mean, like if it's the weekend, I'm already home, but I'm coming home. I want an afternoon snack because I love an insanely late dinner. Like, it makes me feel like I'm like in Gossip Girl, like I'm a city girl having like 8 or 9 o'clock dinners. And my husband just like, he doesn't care. So, but like I need something to sustain me until then. So I will have, I like to call it like afternoon tea. Sometimes it actually is a hot tea, but lately what I've been loving is taking sport tea. It's, I got it at my local health food store. Sorry, it's called Good Foods Co-op if you're in Lexington. I will cold brew that in a giant pitcher. The directions say to cold brew it. I take my cold brew tea, my sport tea. I will take a Spindrift grapefruit sparkling water. I don't care for like, I don't really care for, I don't drink soda, but I don't care for sparkling water unless I am making a healthy, like, little healing girl mocktail, if you will. So I take some agave and I'll pour in the bubbly grapefruit water, and then I will take, I usually make this in a giant Yeti again. So whatever room is left, I will pour in the sport tea, and that is my like afternoon drink as of lately. And it's just another diverse way of getting like my daily allotted hydration needs met. And then I'll have, again, some more fruit. Sometimes I will like a Sakara protein bar. Like it's always a struggle for me to find some sort of form of protein that I like, that like is like practical all the time, if that makes sense. So some form of protein. I'm honestly really bad about my protein intake. I don't know why. So basically like fruit and like a giant thing of sparkling water tea thing. And so then around dinner time, my favorite thing to do while I'm cooking, because I am a gourmet bitch. I love to have high quality food, have it all taste incredible, but like I'm always like, I'm gonna cook it myself, one, because then I can control every ingredient and aspect of it, and I'm saving money by cooking it myself, and I'm doing it better, honestly. I don't care to eat out, because I'm like, if I can cook this just as good or better at home, why am I eating out? I don't know, that's just my mentality. But what I do is, the protein for dinner is either salmon, scallops, or a filet mignon that is like locally grass-fed, organic bullshit, if I'm being completely honest. And those are my favorite foods ever. I love doing like 2 veggie sides with the protein. Lately we've been doing the sweet kale salad by Eat Smart, I believe. I get the double pack big bag at Costco and I just whip up one of those for us. And then I've been really liking to get the rainbow cauliflower from Trader Joe's and mixing that with green beans, steaming those up for a bit, and then in just some butter and garlic. And then I'm making a hollandaise sauce, a dairy-free hollandaise sauce. Guys, I'm so extra. Like, I'm talking gourmet every night. But it's so simple to make, you guys. We have just like this little handheld like immersion blender, and all you need is for hollandaise is an egg yolk or 2 if you need more. You do egg yolk, a pinch of salt, like a few drops of water, a big ol' squeeze of lemon. Like, make this lemony, it's even better lemony. And then you will put the butter on the stove. I do the dairy-free butter. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's like the soy-free, dairy-free butter. And it comes to like 160. I can't remember what the exact temperature of the butter needs to be for it to cook the egg yolk to make it safe, but I just will put it in like a little glass mixing like cup. Actually, not like a mixing thing at all, just a measuring cup. And then I put the immersion blender with one hand and pour the hot butter into it while it's blending, and it cooks it up, and it's perfect. And it takes like 2 minutes from like start to finish. And then I pour that over my our veggies, and then I've found these crispy onions, which are just like fried little onion things, but like to put some of that on there with some pine nuts, chef's kiss. It is amazing. And then while I am cooking dinner, I'm either having another Healing Girl little mocktail hydration thing. I take some mint leaves, crush them up, pour in some agave for sweetness. I do a syringe full of the Sakara Life beauty water, and which is just like ionic minerals. And then I take some chlorophyll, also from Sakara, but get it from wherever you want. So chlorophyll, and I mix it with Spindrift lime sparkling water. I add some fresh lime juice and bubbling hydration with chlorophyll and beauty water. Like, hello. And then every single night inside, and I do that in like a cute cocktail glass, and then every single night, either while I'm cooking dinner or while I'm cooking, I enjoy a 1 glass full of kombucha, whatever I'm feeling that day. I obviously love GT's Synergy kombucha, and there's this new local one in Lexington called Bees Berries kombucha, and their strawberry mango is my new favorite thing. Oh my god, I love it so much. Anyways, and then every night I need some form of dessert. I need a sweet. So whether this is like my dessert or like my bedtime snack, whatever you want to call it, I'm either like making something. Like the other day I made a cherry clafoutis. I don't know how to say it. Obviously I made it dairy free, but it's just like this cherry little cake thing with some coconut whipped cream, and that was incredible. I will sometimes just have like the Spudsy cinnamon churro puffs. Sorry, have some technical difficulties. If you're watching on YouTube and you can see visually my hair has changed, but I'm still wearing the same shirt, that is because I ran out of memory on literally every single device. Camera, phone, laptop, everything. So I had to deal with all of that. And anyways, back on topic, what I eat in a day. We're nearing the end. I like the combination of the Siete cinnamon churro chips with the chocolate almond bitchin sauce. I don't know what brand makes the bitchin sauce, but it's a fabulous combination. Yeah, but like I'll just like look on Pinterest and I literally just search like gourmet desserts. Sometimes I like to do like seasonal desserts, and then I just substitute all of the ingredients that aren't dairy free to be dairy free. And then to wind down with my snack or dessert or whatever, I'm having yet another beverage. I like to have a Sleepy Time tea by Celestial Tea. I like the vanilla, I like the extra Sleepy Time, any of the Sleepy Time teas. I make, I just steep some water, or no, I just heat up some water in my pink Smeg kettle, and I do this for my husband at the same time. Add some honey, typically local honey, a dash of vanilla, a little pinch of fleur de sel salt, and let that steep and sip on that. I try not to have it like too close to my bedtime because I already have an overactive bladder and I have to pee multiple times a night anyways. Like literally whenever I'm pregnant, will I get any sleep? Will I be peeing any more than I already do? Because I already wake up like 3-ish times a night to go pee. Anyways, so I try not to add to that whole situation by drinking too much tea too close to bedtime. And then I have my bedtime or night vitamins, as I call them. They're all in a separate little vitamin thing. Once a week, I put all my vitamins in their corresponding little boxes. So, and these change all the time depending on what new information I've learned, and I try not to have, I can only fit so many in a box, and I'm not going to sit there and open 30 different bottles every day to get another pill out. So I have L-theanine, which aids in better mental focus, improved sleep, relaxation, increased cognitive performance, weight loss, boosting the immune system, reducing blood pressure, supporting certain cancer drugs. I take a magnesium. It improves blood pressure, mood, blood sugar management, as well as lower the risk of developing health conditions such as heart disease. I take evening primrose oil to help, that it can help clear up acne, improve overall skin cell health, help ease eczema, improve heart health, and aid in mild PMS symptoms. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory, may help prevent cancer, and is antioxidant. So I specifically take certain supplements in the morning versus night because my morning ones typically involve some sort of energy boosting, you know, it's energy boosting, and I obviously don't want an energy boost right before bed. And then the other ones either help me wind down at night, or I simply don't have enough room in my vitamin box for them. I want to talk a little bit about my philosophy with food and eating and a few of my opinions on certain things. First, before I go on too much of a tangent, I think that like diet culture is so toxic, and I mean I've fallen victim to certain things too, and because I grew up in toxic diet culture, there are certain things that I'm sure have affected me more than I realize, but mainly the trendy thing right now that is making me sad is the bloating situation. And while there are some people who do have a bloating issue, like they might have an underlying condition and they are genuinely getting uncomfortably bloated, most people are not actually bloating. You have to realize when you eat food, your stomach expands. So give yourself a fucking break about bloating, unless you're you're most likely not even bloating. Your stomach expands after you eat, whether you eat a small amount or, you know, it's Thanksgiving and you eat a bunch of food and your stomach expands. You're not bloating, typically, you know. I'm not a professional, but that is the thing that I'm seeing right now. You have to think, when a woman is pregnant, typically, like, you know, you follow their weekly, like the growth of the baby every week or every few weeks or whatever, and it's like, this week they're the size of a raspberry, oh, this week they're the size of a lemon, you know. And while typically, you know, it's not like their entire pregnancy, their stomach is so round the whole time, their little extra baby that's, you know, this like tiny, their stomach is already expanding to make room for it. You have to think, if this baby's the size of a raspberry and their stomach is a little bit puffed out, you're just eating. And that stomach expansion, once your like body digests it, is gonna go back down. That's why whenever you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning and your stomach is flatter, it's because your body has digested everything. So while you may not see a completely like flattened stomach again after digestion, is because whenever you're awake during the day, you know, you're eating different meals, you're eating different snacks, you're drinking water. If you're drinking a giant thing, you know, if you're drinking, even just staying hydrated with water like you should be every day, it's got to go somewhere. Your stomach is meant to expand. So don't feel like you're bloating. It's like the trendy hot topic word. There's nothing, like, your body just has to digest it. It's okay. Did you guys ever watch the OG Freely the Banana Girl videos? Like, where she is a vegan and eats like so many bananas a day. And she'll show her stomach right after she's eaten. I'm not saying this perfectly, I might be exaggerating, but she's eaten like 5 bananas. Her stomach is expanding, but it goes right back down, and she's documented that, how it goes back down just a little bit after, because your body has to digest it. So seriously, and there are some foods that are going to cause, you know, more bloating or longer effects of your stomach to be expanded, like more, I believe, like raw veggies and stuff. Certain things produce more gas and stuff inside of your body. And just like rip ass, just let a fart fly, like you're gonna feel better. Don't think anything is wrong with you. It's just like depending on what you're eating, and yeah. But also, if you think you are actually bloated and it's, you know, uncomfortable or painful, go see a doctor. Like, don't just buy some pill that says it's gonna help with bloating. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, I follow the French women don't get fat mindset, and it is a mindset, and it's a way of life. I read a book. It's literally like my Bible at this point. I got it when I was like a teenager. It's called like 20 Life Lessons I Learned from Madame Chic. And it's by Jennifer L. Scott. She is a fabulous author. She has a YouTube channel and an Instagram. I love her so much. She's so fabulous and so chic and fancy. But it's so easy to add into your life in so many aspects. But we're talking about food right now, right? Food is not like a guilty thing. You should be enjoying food. You should love food. Have a romantic relationship with food. And yes, like if you're in America like me, it's not going to be the exact same, but basically, you know, take your time eating. Eat something that you're loving. Typically, like, it's best to eat something that you've prepared yourself, you know, with wholesome fruits and vegetables. That way you know exactly what's going on and going into your meals. I have, you know, worked hard to create this life for myself and for my husband, like, you know, my little family, that I'm able to do these things. And I understand if you have a job where you're, you know, going into an office, or like you can't like cook your lunch while you're at work or something. You know, you can prepare it. It's just like a mindset, and it's something that, if it's important to you, it's something that you can work to change over time. And I'm not saying that I like instantly made this change, but I am to the point now where, you know, I've chosen, aside from me thinking I just wanted to be a trophy wife, and I got bored, I do like to have a routine, and I've been in the childcare industry for like 15 years. I'm the oldest of 1,000 kids, 7, but 1,000 basically. I have just always enjoyed babysitting, nannying. I was a preschool teacher for a time, and while the kids are, you know, incredible and chaotic, that was a toxic environment because of the adults, you know, all the gossiping and everything that I won't get into right now. But whenever, you know, so I decided that yes, I did want to be a nanny, and being a nanny in, you know, someone else's home, you have a kitchen where you can cook things. So you better believe every Monday I take a bag of like my groceries that I have for my breakfast and lunch and like, you know, snacks. And I just prepare it while I'm preparing the girls that I watch food, you know, like when they're having breakfast, I'm fixing up my breakfast. Whenever they're having lunch, like I'm fixing myself lunch. Or if they're taking a nap, I'll go ahead and prepare my lunch so that I can focus more on them. But I've strategically, you know, created this life and chosen this career for, you know, so that all of my dreamy aspects of life can go together. So you know, making most of my meals every day each week is something important to me. And then at night, whenever I get home for dinner, I, you know, come home, pop my iPad on, I'll watch Netflix. Like, it's not like I'll have a podcast on, I'll have Netflix on, YouTube. Like, I'm like watching something that is gonna keep me entertained, because otherwise I do get bored, and I'm just gonna cook up some stuff. And, you know, YouTube videos are really helpful for figuring out how to cook certain things. I realized that I'm not as, I realized that in the past I wasn't eating as many veggies, and I really didn't think I liked vegetables as much, because my mom, you know, growing up, we didn't have a whole lot of cooking of vegetables because we either didn't like it and there were too many of us to please, that she was just like, here's this and this, and if you don't like it, go make this, you know? So something, as I was a young adult, my mother-in-law slash bestie is like a witch in the kitchen, makes incredible vegetables. Like, anytime she made something, I just loved it. And it's typically just really simple. You just take a veggie and you put some salt and pepper on it, oil, and like some garlic. That's like the base of all of my meals, okay? I like watched her, because I'm like, it was intimidating to me to like cook veggies on the stove, and I was like, well, how long do they need to be here? If I cook them too long, do they get bitter, and this and that? And so after, you know, learning from her and figuring things out on my own, it's obviously much less intimidating now that I've gotten, you know, I've gotten the practice in and stuff, and it's easy to just like throw certain things in, and then I have my husband come in, and I'll be like, all right, I need you to chop this, or I'm gonna chop this, you do this, can you make this? And while I do enjoy being a homemaker, and, you know, I do love being the wife that is cooking meals in the kitchen and stuff, I still need help sometimes, and I'm like, husband, please come help me, and he comes in and helps, like, and we have fabulous meals all the time. So just dream of the life you want and work to create it, okay? I sound so aggressive and mean right now, but seriously, I totally understand where things are intimidating, and yes, it is time consuming. You're gonna have to figure out, like, if you're like me, where you like TV and podcasts or whatever, or if you like music, put whatever music you like on. Like, I just feel like I need more constant stimulation, so I like to watch something fun while I'm cooking. And yeah, so be kind to yourself. Just every week, aside from my hyperfixation meals, I just like to look on Pinterest, look on Instagram, watch YouTube videos of like cooking and get inspiration, and sometimes I try new things. Especially in the summer, I will come up with like a list of groceries I need to get for the week, and I do this all on my phone in my notes. I'll make a shopping grocery list, and I also make a meal plan so that I know what I got each thing. So I'm like, okay, this is breakfast, this is for lunch, this is for dinner. And dinners are typically the things that I have like 3-ish like ideas for what we'll have throughout the week, and then we can like mix it up. And I typically will, so like I'll have if like I have 3 meals for the week, we'll do 2 meals the same in a row, or like have it in another night. So that way it's not like we don't necessarily have to cook every single night, but we've, you know, done the process and the prep, and then we can just warm it up the next night, or there's a little bit less cook time for certain things the next night. Anyways, be kind to yourself, love what you're eating. Maybe get food allergy tested if you're not feeling the best, or just start an elimination diet on your own if you want, just to see if you feel better without certain things in your diet. And just love food. Enjoy the food. That's all. Bye, dolls.